let's keep going. We talked about layering. We talked about using the same wash and just simply layering up, letting one wash dry, taking the same recipes and adding on. You may need to use a little bit of water, but that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're working the negative space. And layering up. Now we are creating texture as we go. By the way, this is a number 8 brush. We're trying to find the light. And when we need to, we can go to a larger brush. Now we're starting to let those layers the lines, you know, that I'm getting with layers, we're going to let them stand. We're not going to soften everything. We're going to pick and choose what we do want to soften. But just going over top, I'm now starting to see where the light is hitting those little fawn's legs. This is my burnt sienna with a little bit of opera, just enough to make it a little more exciting. It does cool off in temperature right there, and we'll keep an eye on that a little later. Right now we're just building those layers. To create a rich backdrop for the fawns. The really neat thing about watercolor is you can adjust your color and your color temperature as you go. So while I might be warm in temperature right now, I can add the cool a little later. What's important to me right now is starting to see the fawns. They can get so lost in the background, and this is just helping me see where they are. Now I've already decided that those fawns are going to be cooler in temperature than these real warm shades of burnt sienna and opera. So I'll be adding some blue, cobalt blue. In fact, let's go ahead and add a touch of cobalt blue now. Just in the darkest spots. So now what we're doing is glazing. We're adding another color. The paper is wet, so for it to glaze properly, I'm laying in color, because for it to glaze properly, it would have to be dry. I'm working one pale layer on top of one pale layer. And I'm pretty sure I've decided all my texture is gonna go on the fawns and not the grassy. I don't know, the straw, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but that's how I'm starting to think. That I would rather for the viewer to see these beautiful animals rather than all my straw. All right, I'm going to start adding some of the burnt sienna. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit of the opera to the burnt sienna here in the front. And build what I thought I lost there for a while, which is this little place. And then pretty much going downward. So I'm going to fill all this in. Okay, leaving that. Well, what I can do now, because things are dry, is I can start to find this burnt sienna, this warm burnt sienna with a little yellow ochre and maybe a tad of the opera, and I can start to build some of this texture. And work around these spots. So everything's going on nice and soft because I have damp paper. And I'm able to really create some of this wonderful fur. And I'm just going to move around all these spots. I can always lift out if I got a little too dark. My pencil line is a little dark right there, but with just a little bit of a scrub, it's coming out. And I'm working on legs. So honestly, I'm a little bit everywhere. I have this fine point on this brush. I'm really enjoying it. It was a cheapo brush at Michael's, and it's a Aqua Elite Princeton brush, long round, number 8, and it's holding a point very nicely. I'm enjoying painting the fur with it. As you know, something like this can take a little time. I want to call your attention to these edges. This is a white or lighter edge, so you want to hold on to it. It's where the light catches. So the warm areas, this is the white patch, and it's got some nice color coming in at the front. And I'm gonna try to erase my pencil lines as I go, so they're not so noticeable. I'm being rather sketchy too with my brush. Now I want to see what's going to happen when I add this burnt sienna with the cobalt blue. See, it really does go brown, cool brown. And we'll just keep painting on this. So just adding this is not very exciting, is it? This color, it's just, it deadened things. So I'm adding a little bit more of the burnt sienna, just straight from the puddle. And see, I'm happier. I'm happier. So you want to build the softness, because this is a very soft edge, furry soft edge. And the colors are interesting. It's going to be fun trying to get this range of color. Well, we're going to keep painting. I'm going to look for places to just soften before I quit. There we go. All right, so what have we done? We've started to build the fur. And the negative space. You know, this might be more lavender. It's feeling a little raspberry to me. So let's try it. A little more blue. Yeah, I think so. Okay, I think I like that. Again, hold that white edge. That white edge. All right. Let me see where else I can put that. That really does, see, I would put it here, but this is still wet. Maybe not. Yeah, I like that. And we're gonna bring it in. And we're gonna bring it down. And those are soft transitions. They melt right into the background. We're gonna bring some of it over. Yeah, I like that. All right, now it goes a little bit bluer, right? Right here. So this is just bluer. We've got this. So just trying to see that color a little bit at a time. And coming down the chest, using my brush to pull at the texture. At least it's a starting point. So my confidence grows as I move into these layers, little by little, layer by layer. I start to find my way in to this beautiful animal. You know, that could be a little cerulean blue in there, I don't know. There. So we are building, and this is a little blue. And we're gonna let it dry. Okay, everyone, thank you. I think we're off to a nice pale start. I think we've got, you know, some layers here that are very nice. We've got the cools and the warms. We're staying in the burnt sienna family. We're adding the opera for warmth, and we're adding the blue for coolness, and we're even taking the blue and the opera to mix up a little raspberry, which works in here, and we're gonna see it in some other places, even in the ears. So thank you.